James Gunn talks about Superman and how it's relatively serious and pretty family friendly. Let's go.
I know that you have
Let me
other
hear it.
live action shows coming as well. Is that going to kind of be the level you want to have them on, or are you going to do different stuff there as well?
Everything's going to be totally different. One of the things I love about DC Comics is that they've always been able to tell different stories in different ways. They've told.
I love this answer. We've talked about it multiple times. He's going to get more into it, but we say it constantly. DC is all about different tones, different feelings, different everything. And we've talked about that from the announcement of Gods and Monsters. Everything has different tones. Everything has different feelings. Everything is going to feel different and look different and be different. That is what we want from DC. Not everything is going to feel the same. Everybody's like, oh, James Gunn's coming in. It's going to be a Marvel clone. No, it's not going to be a Marvel clone because everything's going to be different. And that's what he's going for here. And I love it. I love it. Let's hear what he says, continuing what he says.
Stories that were more family oriented, stories that were more adult oriented, dark stories, light stories. And I think for us, we just want to tell a bunch of different stories. A lot of those different stories are going to be in the DCU. So we have, something that's relatively serious like Superman, and then
relatively serious like Superman.
Something that's relatively comedic like Peacemaker, all in the same universe, something very adult like Peacemaker, something very family, pretty family friendly like Superman.
I like how he says family friendly, pretty family friendly like Superman. Interesting.
But it's I think that to be able to tell different types of stories is kind of what makes things fun. And one of the things that I've gotten a little sick of is all these stories being relatively the same. And I'm trying to step outside of that. We at DC are trying to step outside of that.
It's fantastic. Like, this is like an amazing answer. Again, 2 weeks in a row, he gives perfect answers to questions that people then twist or make like it's bad. This is a phenomenal answer. This is exactly what we need to hear. First off, let's take a look at Superman. What he's talking about Superman is how it's going to be serious. Remember all those people sitting there saying, oh, Superman's going to be like Peacemaker, dick and fart jokes. Obviously, no. He's saying it's going to be serious. Not only that, he's not saying it's just going to be family friendly. Sure, it's going to have some family friendly elements, he says, but it's not going to just be family friendly. It's going to be serious and somewhat family friendly. That's exciting. No, it's not going to be for you people like you, Triton, in the comments right now. It's not going to be your very serious and dark and gloomy like Man of Steel. Again, I'm a huge fan of Man of Steel, my favorite superhero movie, but it's going to have the family-friendly elements that Superman has encapsulated in the comics for nearly 100 years. That's okay. That is what we need. That is what is needed for Superman to be successful. We've seen that. It was not successful the way it was done with Zack Snyder. They believe this is the way it's going to be successful. So let's see how it plays out. But it's not going to be the dick and fart jokes that everybody thought it was going to be. As I've said multiple times, James Gunn is a talented writer. He can do more than one thing. And then we get to the bigger part that he said, and I brought it up, is how DC is just full of different tones. It's going to be different. Some things will be serious. Some things will be family friendly. Some things will be adults. Some things will be humor. That's fantastic. That's what we want. That is how we want it. The one thing that I loved about Marvel in the 2010s was how they were going that route. And then they lost it. They lost it for some reason. Like Guardians of the Galaxy was like a sci-fi action comedy. You had The Winter Soldier, which was an espionage type of film. You had your fun humorous films in Ant-Man. But then they got away from that and just decided to go one direction. And it was really bizarre. DC is like, no, we're going to grab what is all about DC and take it and run with it and have fun and really take what DC has always been about. And that is great. That is what is exciting. That's what I love to see. That's what is fun. And that is why DC will succeed under James Gunn, because the general audience will see it. The comic fans will see it. And that is what people will like to see and want to see more of. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I just can't wait. This is right here was a perfect answer. Much like the answer that he gave last week about the continuity and the canon. this is another perfect answer, and I give him a lot of credit. Bravo, James Gunn. Perfect answer. Love it. Can't wait to see what comes of Superman now. Can't wait to see what comes of DC. It's in good hands. It's in good hands. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below.